Hello, my dear friends. Today we would create something very exciting. Um Back in a few years back, I used to come to this website. This is called FCINQ. It's a very nice website. These guys are very creative and they always create inspiring designs. So back in the day, they used to have a very nice team page where they would show their team in a very creative way. This is their current page, but a few years back, their team page looked like this. And it was mentioned in many websites as the best uh, meet the team website and so on. The, the way they have designed this, it's amazing. So if you could see that, it would be amazing. But don't worry, I found some archives, and this is their old screenshot. And this is I also managed to find the interaction. So their team meet the team page was very interactive. And as you can see that as we are hovering, we get some response. Then when we click on any profile, it gets it it just bubbles up, and bubbles around it, they get repelled, just like there is a force field or something. It's a very nice effect, and we can see that each person gets its name, designation, and its social media links. So we would try to recreate this kind of effect in Adobe XD, and let's go to Adobe XD and let's start working on this page. So we have this blank page in Adobe XD, blank frame, and here we can see that we have this same screenshot to get inspiration from. So first of all, let's design the profile. So as we saw in the website, each profile has one circle, one profile circle. So let's make it here. And then this profile circle also, let's give it a color. Suppose we are giving it black color. Don't worry, we would fill it with an image later. So this is our profile. So let's name it profile image. Then we also need a copy of this, and we would call it tint, because we can see that each profile has a certain tint. So for now, we would just give it a fill of 50% black, so that it doesn't look awkward, and we will push it below this profile pic. Then we would also need we as we can see, this is a tint, and the profile there is a profile image, and there is a tinted tint on top of that. So we would use that as a tint. And now we also need some text. So first one is name, and this one should have the size 20 pixels, and it should have some properties. Let's give it a bit bold text, and give it a color of black. If this looks good, then we will just copy paste. And now this one is for designation, so we'll give a smaller font and regular text, and its color should be different. So its color is grayish, and let's follow. So this is for designation. Don't worry, we will fill these values. And also we need icons for social media. So let me quickly grab those icons. So I have grabbed the icons. So let's copy and paste them here. So these are our icons, social media icons. Let's give them a little bit vertical distance. So let's align them in the center, and also separate them a little bit here, and just centralize them like this. Okay, so this is good enough for current design. Also, we need to make sure that our profile image is on top of this and our tent is on top of them. Just like I would explain the reason later. Okay, now we need one more thing. We need to add a close button, a circular close button on top of the profile. So let me quickly create this. Okay, this seems about right. And we have to give it a fill of black. And let's give it 50% of maybe 40% black color and give it a border of white color. And also we need to give it a drop shadow of 0 or 5 offset, but 20 blur, uh, and 20 pixel blur, and also give it about 100% of black top shadow. So this is not visible right now because it's black background, but we will see it soon. Now we also give it cross button. So a quick and easy way to create a cross button is to just write down the type the plus symbol, and here we go to object and convert it to path, and then give it a rotation of 45 degrees. Now it's a cross, and also give it a fill of 5. And we can resize it as well. Let's resize it. Oh, this sounds about right. And centralize this in this circle. So now this is our cross button. Let's make it a group and call this close button. Okay, so this is pretty much it. Let's centralize this as well. Okay, now this is centralized, and we have a profile image and we have a tint. So for now, let's group these items together and call it profile. So we have one profile, but we need multiple profiles. So let's utilize the power of Adobe XD and let's utilize repeat grid. So we have 4 of these items here. Let's place them like this, and then we have to copy it in the rows as well. So let's make 3 rows. So total of let's make it a total of 12. So this is our current design. Okay, so we have 12 profiles. Now we can utilize some superpower of Adobe XD, and let me share my screen with you. And let me go to our file system. Here we can see that we have multiple items. This is these are some text files, and these are some images. These are the images that I found online, and these are royalty-free images from different websites such as Pexels. You can look into these, and you can get royalty-free images. So let's grab these images. I have selected them, and let's go to Adobe XD. We would just drag and drop these images, and you would see that if we drag and drop this on the profile area, all of the profiles would automatically get this image. Okay, so this is step one. And now we also have to make the tint appear in front of these images because we want to give some color to a tint. So we just select the option, bring it to the front. Okay, so we also need to bring close button to the front as well. The close button should be always be visible through. Now we have correct hierarchy. Our close button is at the top. Before, after that, we have a tint. Then we have profile elements. That's good. Now we want to give name and designation. So for that, we have a very easy fix. Similarly, let me get back to you and let me show you a text file. So for example, we have this file names.txt. So this file contains a list of names. We have made the list in such a way that we know that which person will get which name, and this is all decided based on the image numbers. We have named the images as numbers from 0 to 12. So it would align those in the grid. Now when we have a list like this, we can simply drag and drop this file on top of Adobe XD as a different item, and it would give it those names. So let me quickly grab and drag and drop this names file. So I'm going to drop it on the name, and we get all the names. Now we would also get the designations. This is a similar file for designation. So I drop this on designation, and we get the designation. So this is very quickly we this is by using this Adobe superpowers, we can quickly model our complicated design and repeated designs, and we can add variations very quickly. Okay, so now we don't need this grid. Let's ungroup this, and we have all these groups. We just need to do some alignment. We have to align these items in the center. So let me quickly do that, and let's resume them. Okay, so we have managed to make this a bit centralized and organized. So now we can see that we have this grid-like structure where we have all the profiles and names and all the properties that we need. But we need to change the tint colors for each of those. So suppose this one, let's give it a tint of this color and give it 50% tint. So it would look like this. So let me quickly assign tints to respective profile, and then we would resume. So we have also assigned different tint colors to these profiles. Now we are ready for our next step. As we can see that this is very structured and very organized, like in a grid, but we don't see this side of sort of structure here. So let's create some chaos. So first of all, let's hide these elements behind the profile. We'll just hide them behind each profile, and we would also need to hide this cross button. So let me do this for all the profiles, and let's resume them. So we can see that we have hidden all those extra elements behind the profile pictures. So now we can see that our effect is very closer to this one, but we need to create some chaos. This is not going to be too organized. So let's resize some of these, and let's make it look more like a bubble chart. So suppose give them some sizes, and place them randomly here and there, and create some chaos on the drawing board. So something like this. Make some profiles a bit more short, and some a bit longer, bigger. So we are just placing them randomly here and there, and then see this looks like a bubble chart. Okay, so I think this one is much more the drift. Okay, so let's say this is our bubble chart now, and we are now finally ready to do some prototyping. But before that, we also have to have a look at this. Here, there in this theme, they also had one feature where they had the uh, groups in the team. For example, developers group. If we would click on this button, all the developers would be highlighted, and the other profile would just give get a bit faded look. So let's try to replicate that here as well. So let's add a circle here, and let's call it. Let's give it a color, a nice color. Let's give it something like this, and let's remove the border and add the text. So this one would be called developers. So let me just place it in the center and give it a color of white. And maybe this over is already gold. So maybe let's give it a little bit. Okay, 24 size is good. Okay, so let's make a copy of this. And let's call this suppose here, and let's call it designers. So we have UI designers and developers here. Okay, so let's give it this purplish color. So this, okay, so this looks nice. Let's place it here. Now let's make some interactions. Okay, so first of all, we would try to create that effect where if we click on groups, group of developers, only developers are highlighted, and then we would also create a group where and we would maybe make one or two profiles. If we click on them, then the same effect that we saw in earlier, that could be. Let's make that effect as well. So okay, first copy. Let's copy this here, and now we have to create this that effect, that faded effect. So let's say. Let me check which ones were the developers. So let me quickly go through that and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I managed to find the profiles which were the developers. So these four profiles are the developers. So let's give them some prominence. Let's make them change their sizes, and let's make sure that they are visible properly. And here it is. Okay, the first thing is done, that we have pushed them away. The second effect is the others, the other profiles which are not, which do not belong to this group, they get a slightly faded effect. So let's give them like 60% of opacity. So this effect is okay. So let's make a prototype. Mm, Quickly go to prototype, and we would just go here. And then we have to select the trigger as tap. Then we have to select the type as auto animate. Then we have to give the easing function as snap. Snap is a very nice function, and we are giving it 0.45 seconds. And similarly, when we click on the same button here, we would go back. So this would be like a toggle button. So let me quickly show this effect. Let me share my screen. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, when we click on dev, we can see that these four profiles immediately become prominent, others get faded away. Then we click on it again, then it restores. So this is a very nice effect. We can see that we have implemented one part of this. Okay, now let's get back to designing, and let's create that other effect as well, where we click on profile and it just pops up. So let's place it here, and here we can go back to design and just copy paste. And this is the second interaction. And here we would just suppose we click on this profile. So let's assume that we have clicked on this profile, and now this profile needs to be highlighted here. So let's do that. Let's make it bigger, and let's move the other profiles a little bit away, just like they are being repelled with some force field. Let's move them a bit away from my profile. Okay, so this is good enough. And now let's remove the tint. So we would go to tint, select it, and reduce its opacity. Now it's visible. We would give this close button full opacity, and we would select these group of icons, and we would bring them down. So let's bring them down. Now we can see that we have this complete information of this person, and we can view each of their icon, what is the designation. So let's make this interaction. Let's go to prototype and click on this. When we click on this profile, we visit here and we would see that that effect is already copied here. And then we go choose this button, close button, and when we click on this, we go back. So this would make our effect. Let me quickly run this prototype and let me share my screen here. So we saw that we have made this profile. So let's click on this and we can see that it has created this kind of repulsion effect. And when we click on close, it closes down. So this is pretty much it for this video. We have managed to successfully recreate those effects in Adobe XD. And now in the next part, we will see how we can implement this in HTML with JavaScript and so on. So let's quickly go through both of effects. So first effect, if we click on the group, we get that group highlighted. And if we click on any profile, then we get that profile's information and we close it, it goes back. So this is a very nice effect and let's try to figure out how this works. So in the next video, we would resume from here.